Hello and welcome to the Big Bank Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
We're here because the promotion race is back on.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, City. Sort it out.
We're right back in it.
Sort it out, Inglethorpe. I mean, I can't cope with this. Once again, I can't cope.
Sort out ball.
Sort it out, Cooper.
Yeah.
So Exeter City went to the University of Bolton Stadium. Nowhere near the University of Bolton.
Isn't it?
Apparently not. I mean, it's in Bolton, but you know.
Right.
And they came away with a surprising but very well-deserved 2-1 win.
It was surprising, wasn't it? And it sort of seemed like, at the end of it, I was kind of like... it almost seemed like this sort of self-contained kind of battle that was nothing to do with any of the rest of the season to me. I don't know what it was.
Do you think because it felt like Wembley, 'cause it's such a big stadium?
It was something to do with that. The fact we were playing at this kind of like pitch that we shouldn't... and this stadium that we shouldn't be playing at.
Yeah.
Like, they shouldn't be in League Two, should they, Bob?
No.
Not with the ground like that.
They shouldn't be losing to us.
Absolutely not.
And yet they did.
They did.
So, to set the scene somewhat, Bolton, if they won, they were going up automatically. There were a couple of thousand outside the ground with flares and fireworks and Jester's hats on.
Setting off those smoke smoke canisters that sort of they're not quite flares, are they? The sort of smoke canisters, coloured smoke.
Yeah.
That football fans are so fond of these days.
I wouldn't know where to buy one of them. I suppose the internet.
Yeah, Amazon, I reckon.
Oh yeah, right, fair enough.
But can you
it's a long way to go in
inhale
it, the
them
Amazon.
and get off your head at the same time? You know.
I wouldn't want to try it. Smoke everywhere.
Yeah, but you never. Well, that's probably that could restrict where you can buy it from. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Hippie crack. What's that?
Don't touch it, kids. Anyway, they were there. They were expecting a win. We needed a win pretty much to have any chance of sticking with the playoff rivals. We started the game. We started the day in 9th, I think.
Before the game, I wasn't really paying too much attention to at this point to who needs what.
No,
I was just thinking. Done. I was thinking there's almost no chance we're going to beat Bolt. Well, I didn't think that actually, because obviously with the Cambridge result and whatever, and the fact that you can never really predict who you're going to beat at the best of times.
No.
But I didn't want to think too far ahead, other than like it's all out of our hands anyway. Really, we just have to win. But we'll come on to that in a bit, because after we did win, things start to look a little bit spicy.
Indeed. So City started the game well. They had good first 10 minutes. They looked well in it, didn't they? By the way, I love it when Alan Tonge commentates.
Yeah, I like it too.
I mean, he's just so enthusiastic.
Yeah.
City through and through.
He loves Bowman. That's the only thing I'd fault him on.
I don't mind that, because I think
absolutely. I know, fine. I like Bowman too, in a way. But like, he just he can do no wrong in Alan Tonge's eyes, and it sometimes annoys me a bit. Other than that, I think he's one of the best. By the way, I've got a slight correction to make.
Oh yeah.
Co-commentators.
Oh yeah.
They do get paid.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Reliably informed on that one, so I don't know how much, but they do. They are rewarded.
Given some spondoolies.
With bunts.
So that's good to know. Anyway, City had the first 10 minutes, but I suppose 10 minutes in or so, Bolton started to kind of take charge of it. As we've said before, to say that it's a very expensive squad's probably pushing it, but they've really got the kind of pick of the bunch, haven't they?
I mean, I didn't do this research myself, and this is just straight from Matt Taylor's post-match interview. They apparently made 30 signings this season, Bolton.
Yeah.
3-0.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, City probably haven't made 30 signings in the last 3 seasons.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I imagine that's probably less than Matt Taylor's made altogether.
Yeah, I would say so.
Anyway.
So when you look at it, you've got like Sarcevic, Owen Doyle, Matt Gilks in goal. It's Gilks, however you say it.
Yeah.
It's embarrassment of riches, really.
Well, they just looked at who scored the most goals in this league last year. Let's get him.
Yeah.
He'll get, and it's sort of worked, hasn't it?
Yeah, so they turned it on, didn't they? After those first 10, I suppose we were then under pressure for the next 5, and they got a goal quarter of an hour in.
Yeah, very nicely worked goal. Just slick passing, good movement. We didn't do too much wrong there. I think we were a little bit loose on the midfield, perhaps, and weren't quite tight enough to them there. But they just passed through us essentially for that goal, and couldn't really deny them it because, like you said, we did start quite brightly, but then they really did come back into it, and you're like, all right, here we go. They're in like unbelievable form. I mean, they were like bottom half of the table until sort of Christmas, and then they've won. Like, they picked up an insane amount of points. I can't remember the exact amount. There's not a Bolton podcast. Go and listen to that.
Yeah. Yeah, presumably that exists. So I think I was thinking, oh, right, okay, that's that. I might even have texted you as much, I think. That's done, that's that. See you later.
Well, I think that's fair enough assumption in a way.
Well, City haven't been good at coming back into things, have they? Like, we've seen a lot of games recently where we go down and then we stay down.
Yeah, and they're just like I said, they're in, like, blistering form, aren't they? So
yeah,
and they were playing really well, and so.
But actually, 4 minutes into the second half, so 1-0 at half time. 4 minutes into the second half, Robbie Wilmot plays it to Randall Williams on the edge of the box, who does that kind of slow thing that Williams does, and I thought, I don't know what's happening here, and then he slots it away very nicely, doesn't he?
Yeah, really nice finish. Actually,
He's a long way out.
Yeah. Like, nice move, and the game really opened up second half, didn't it? And then we got a really, really entertaining match. I'm not just saying that because we ended up scoring a last-minute winner. I was already thinking, I was resigned to the fact that it was going to be a draw, to be honest. And then I was thinking, I don't really care that we've drawn this and that essentially our season's over now, because after all the dross we've had to watch recently, I just thought, like, there you go. See, I don't even care about winning. What I care about is watching something like that, which is going to entertain me and think, that's worth £10. That's like, and makes me feel like this is something I want to do with my time.
Yeah.
And it was like, so I was like, didn't even mind. And like, you couldn't fault the effort. I thought we're brilliant in our endeavours to be a part of that game and to compete, and it was amazing. And like, Jake Taylor worked really hard, and like all of them, couldn't fault anyone in there really. And it was worth it. And you think, that's great, that's all we wanted. And if we'd just seen a bit of that in some of the other games, maybe we wouldn't have been so pissed off at points.
No, indeed. I mean, there's no point reflecting now, but if that kind of second half performance had been just happened a few more times, of course, the league position could look quite different. It's worth saying, of course, it was a great big occasion. It shows the difference the fans make, because when Bolton scored 1-0 up, great big roar.
And they've seen them all there before. When they've arrived at the stadium, they've seen all that. Yeah. It's going to make a difference, isn't it? Totally. Yeah, we've risen to the occasion quite well, I think. Do you mean there? And it's good. But the other ones were occasions too. I think the difference is it's not. Yeah, there's probably a psychological element to that. There's probably the kind of like the importance of it. But also, we just do better against teams who want to play football, don't we? I mean, like, it's tactically as well, we're set up better to do well in those games. That's why we've done well against them. That's why we've done well against Cambridge and numerous other times this season as well. And where we've got stuck is against the teams really that want to sit off, sit back,
waste time,
play direct, get the ball in the air, just put balls into the box. And that's not how Bolton played at all. And as a result, I mean, it was a brilliant game to watch. You'd be happy if you didn't support either of those teams. You watched that, you'd have been thoroughly entertained.
Yeah. Couldn't be more different from, well, perhaps what this Saturday will be like, but certainly like away at Barrow or those kind of games, like diabolical.
Yeah, any of those 3-0-0s, or various other games this season. But yeah, it was such an entertaining game and brilliant. So
we entertained right till the last minute. 5 minutes added on. I got to be honest, I'm not quite sure where those 5 minutes came from. I suppose there were a few times people got clattered, but the ref had signalled those 5 extra minutes, and we were really pushing, as were Bolton. Could have gone either way.
At that point, it was like absolutely end to end, wasn't it?
Yeah. Jack Sparks. I don't know who won the free kick actually, but Jack Sparks takes a free kick wide on the right. Edge of the box kind of area?
Pretty much, yeah.
Swings it in very nicely, and Sweeney, unmarked basically, but
man of the week. Yeah, absolutely. We'd be raging if that was our defence, and we've seen some of that this season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But if that doesn't go in, Bolton are basically up automatically.
Would a draw have taken them up?
Let me check. But certainly it would have helped them more than no. So they're still in third. So the draw would have put them on equal with Cambridge, 2 points ahead of Morecambe. Right. So it's not very helpful of that defender. Anyway, nevertheless, Sweeney leapt, just did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, and he had a good week, didn't he? Provided the assist for the last minute winner in the previous game, and then got the winner himself in this one. And Sparks had come on as one of the later substitutes. Only we kind of did the old kitchen sink substitution sort of thing again,
Sparks
didn't we?
actually came on with half an hour to go.
Yeah, okay, right. Well, then, I mean, but by that point we had put everyone on, hadn't we? Do you know what I mean?
Had, yeah. So
Seymour was on, Bowman was still there, Fisher was on.
Yeah.
And I thought Sparks did quite. He's been a bit up and down this season, hasn't he? With his performances, but also within the performances with his delivery. Yep. Sometimes you think he's got as good a sort of left foot on him as anyone I can remember seeing play for Exeter on occasion. And then other times you can take 5 corners and not one of them makes it to a Exeter City man, or they float some miles over the top.
Yeah.
But that one was inch perfect.
Really was. So everyone goes absolutely spare. Did you see Anderson? So
yes, I did. I saw this. Yeah.
So he's on the edge of the box, waiting to leap for the header. As soon as the ball comes in, he starts running back. To
well,
the goal.
I think this is what happened there. He's already a bit like, I need to get back in my goal ASAP.
Yeah.
And the minute it's like he realises it's not going near him, and probably even before, he's like, okay, he kind of loses his nerve a bit, I think, and just legs it back.
Yeah, but by then we've scored and he comes back to join in the celebrations.
Probably because I imagine imagine conceding there, and then he's thinking I have to risk, the ire.
Yeah.
Of Matt Taylor, You
don't want that, do you?
You don't want that.
Taylor himself loses a bet with the players. £400, I think.
Yeah, so I think he said that he'll give them all 20 quid each if they win and score a set piece.
I think that's right.
Right, yeah.
So there we go.
I mean, to be fair, it was a fairly safe bet, I think, really, wasn't it?
Except it wasn't. He's lost out there.
Yeah, well, maybe try that a bit more of that kind of incentive,
Yeah.
Financial incentive seems like it works. What could go wrong with that in football?
Oh dear. So that was the winner. I mean, that was basically the last kick of the game.
Here's something else interesting about that Matt Taylor interview. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't like pizza.
Curious.
I don't trust a man who doesn't like pizza. Well, do I? Is that true? I don't know if I would trust. That's weird, isn't it? Don't like pizza.
Let me tell you about my uncle. Right, Cornish. He won't eat pizza because he doesn't eat foreign foods. So my aunt calls it quiche and he eats it. Don't even get me started on that. But that's a true story.
They're not the same.
They're not the same, and surely quiche
Uncle.
is foreign too. Anyway,
quiche very much not an English dish.
So maybe I've kind of put Matt Taylor in the same category.
What about pasta? Would he eat that?
No.
He wouldn't eat pasta.
No.
Garlic bread?
No, certainly not.
Wow.
He's
What does he eat? Just potatoes?
Potatoes, stew, pasties, roast beef.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
So I think Matt Taylor's similar category, isn't he? Maybe not quite that extreme, but...
Yeah, I guess probably, yeah, I guess so. He would eat some... I'm sure he eats, some foreign foods, though, Matt Taylor.
Yeah, but not... I mean, who doesn't like pizza?
Well, that's my point,
Yeah.
What's not to like? It's like some sort of dough. It's like dough...
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows what pizza is. Tomato puree, cheese, and then whatever you like, what's not to... Anyway, he wanted a burger instead.
Well, all right.
Fine.
Bon appetito, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, good interview. He's very pleased, wasn't he? Very pleased.
Yeah, don't blame him. He's sort of from Bolton, isn't he? Or from very close.
Somewhere
Surely or something in it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, great. Great for him. Great for the team. Just the kind of... If the season finishes and we don't go up... Okay, well, I think at least that will live long in the memory, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice way to finish the season regardless, isn't it? Yep. I mean, obviously, we've still got one more game to ruin it.
That's the spirit.
Which...
you speaking from experience.
Well, it's not the last game, is it? There's still another one.
No.
And if we lose 8-0 to Barrow, then it won't make a blind bit of difference if we beat Bolton, will it? So...
No, it will not. But I think that's a good way a good high point towards the end of the season, because we've had quite a lot of low points recently. Of course, that's now 4 games unbeaten, if we're being positive.
Right.
But
I don't like to look at it that way, really.
What I'd say, Dan, is...
Also, that's irrelevant at this point in the season.
Of course it is. If we go on, if we do make the playoffs and we go on, I think that will give us some confidence. Because Bolton are potential playoff rivals, of course.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again.
Have to do it again.
Another trip up there.
Yeah. So that
Better
was.
order some more smoke canisters, lads.
Oh, I mean that's embarrassing for them, innit?
Yeah.
Honestly, I lolled.
I love the scenes afterwards when they're all sort of just like wandering off in silence.
Canister still smoking.
Just
Guy's
sort
trying
of
to
like,
put it in his rucksack
just sort
quick.
of kicking a spent canister across the asphalt.
I mean, I realise that no one can go to games, and I realise in normal time, if you're in the stadium, you would be there and you'd know if we win this game, we're up, and if you
that's
scored,
perfectly normal. Once if put that inside the stadium, yeah, completely
perfectly normal.
Yeah.
But there's something about that, isn't there?
Well, yeah, it's something funny about. Yeah, it being in a car park, I suppose.
I can't blame it. I mean, they've had a rubbish time, haven't they, Bolton? They've dropped massively. They've had all sorts of terrible ownership issues, so I can't blame them on that level.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some sympathy for them, but at the same time, those same people got to watch Nicholas and Elka play for their team, and all these. They've had the highs, so what would you rather have? Big highs and some lows, or should we be feeling sorry for me? No. Because we've only ever had just like, pretty much just lows the whole way.
I think the City attitude
one time we won a league was just before any of us were born.
Well, I was born, but yeah, only just.
Say any of us. Like I said last week, we do have some very old listeners.
I like that if City have got a chance of promotion on the last day, we're not going up there early. We're definitely not. No one is. We're like, well, all right, maybe I'll cycle up later, see what's going on. I honestly, I can't imagine anyone gathering.
You don't reckon?
No.
I think you'd be surprised.
Maybe I would. I just think we're so used to being negative.
If we were going up, what, the chance of us going up automatic?
Yeah.
It'd be rammed.
Do you think so?
Yeah. We haven't got near the automatics for the last few years.
Yeah,
You mean
true.
it's been like we've had this. It's been like settle for playoffs sort of thing, or just made it into the playoffs. It's like I don't think that's been. We've not been really close to the automatics for a while. I think people would be right up there. I'd be there. I'd be sort of standing back watching, but I wouldn't be jumping up and down and setting off smoke canisters. But some people would be.
Some people would be. All right, fair enough. Maybe I've misread the room. I just think we're so used to like, well, this won't go well, that we just stay away. Anyway, that was the game on Saturday, 2-1. We'll talk about what that means for the season in a minute. Welcome back to the Big Bang Theory podcast, where we're talking League 2 positions. So everyone has now played 45. They're all caught up. So everyone's got one game left, Dan.
They have to do that for the last day of the season, don't they? Everyone play at the same time. Everyone playing
and it's
the same
3 p.m.
day.
3 p.m.
Yep.
So just to run you through it, Cheltenham are up automatically. They might not be champions, but they are up automatically. Cambridge are not quite up automatically in second. Neither are Bolton. So then the playoff currently is Morecambe, Newport, Tranmere, Forest Green. And we're in 8th. We can't catch Morecambe. Okay? No chance. If Newport or Tranmere lose and we win, we overtake them on goal difference.
Yeah, we just need one of those, don't we? Just one of them to...
Ideally, one of them.
To lose.
Or if we get a better result than Forest Green, that could be draw or win, but we need to get a better result than them. We would overtake them.
What if we both draw?
If we both draw, we don't move up.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
So we're currently outside. We basically have to win.
Every promotion possibility for Exeter City we have to win.
Unless Forest Green lose and Salford lose, because that's our other problem.
Right, and then we could draw.
We could draw, yeah.
Right, so we need to win.
Yeah, our goal average is still equal best in the whole league, plus 21, which is only equal with Cambridge. No one else is close. That's not true. Salford are 4 behind us. So the other problem is Salford are 1 point behind us, so we could draw. If Salford won, they would overtake us. So we can't risk it. It's got to be a win. We could, of course, end up as high up as 5th, bizarrely.
Yeah. This is why I was so pleased, in a way, why I was pleased with the Bolton game, because I was kind of resigned to it being over, to be honest, after the
Yeah, the various
the
ones.
various ones before. But
Yeah.
then when we got that win, it was like, oh, at least it leaves a kind of like a bit of excitement for the last day, doesn't it? And I fully expect, like, I think the odds are against us because of who, I think Tranmere, Newport and Forest Green are all playing teams that they should beat. It's not like any of them are playing Cheltenham or those
Cambridge,
teams that
yeah.
are trying to get automatic promotion. They're all kind of playing teams which have nothing to play for or are already relegated or whatever.
Yeah. So essentially, the only teams that have got anything to play for are, all of the top 9.
Yeah.
But no one else. Relegation sorted.
No one else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say the odds are against us in this scenario, but at the same time, it's not like we're just relying on one result. It's 3 games. I mean, we've got to watch out for, and if any of them, it's just exciting, and it's like a nice way to if bearing in mind all the stuff that's come before.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd rather we did better earlier on in the season and we'd gone up, but considering it all, I'm quite pleased with this situation. At least it's something.
Shame we're not there, innit? Shame we're not there with some guy with his ear to the radio shouting weird. Like remember those days?
Well, I do, but I think that was before you had the internet on your phone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you got Matey on his radio going, "Oh, God scored," or whatever, and you're like, "Oh." So here's the games that
It gets
matter.
passed around, whispered around the ground. That still happens. You know what I mean? Like
It
it would be
does,
like
yeah.
Tranmere are losing, Tranmere have drawn, Tranmere have equalised.
Which I always like, yeah.
It's great fun,
I tell you, shame we're not there, of course. I tell you the games that
No,
matter.
we'll have to
then.
just mutter to ourselves.
I'm going to have 4 screens on the go. I'm going to pay £40 in iFollow.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
That would be. So Cambridge play Grimsby.
Just shouting to your son who doesn't care.
Forest Green has scored. What?
He is crying. Dad's weird. Dad's gone weird.
Oh, he fully knows what's going on. So let me tell you this. Cambridge have got Grimsby. Cheltenham have got Harrogate. Bolton have got Crawley. We've got Barrow. Morecambe have got Bradford. Forest Green have got Oldham away. Salford have got Leyton Orient at home. Newport have got Southend away. And here's the one that matters, Dan. Tranmere have got Paul Tisdale's Colchester United at home. Could he do it? Could he finally repay us?
Come on,
Could
Paul.
it be his final gift to the club?
Or could he deliberately... No, that won't be down to him, would it? It's not enough there. And also, he's got too much integrity.
Of course.
Yeah. Come on, Paul.
Come on, Paul.
Secret agent Paul.
It's not even secret. Just beat the team you're supposed to beat, Paul. Imagine
Well,
that.
What is he, their advisor or something?
Something like that. He's
Well,
on the
how about you
sideline.
advise them to win?
Advise them to win, Paul. Advise them to beat them. For your old pal Matt.
But he's on the sidelines, isn't he? Sort
Yeah.
of like...
Yeah, I don't know what he is. I don't know what that job is.
It's really weird, isn't it? That?
Made up. But he could do it. He could...
I'd love it. That's the best case scenario.
I mean, a lot would be forgiven then. That would open the door for his second spell at the club.
Do you think?
I can't see Taylor going, and I can't see people wanting him back. But
I don't
it would
think-
improve his standing amongst those who are...
Well, maybe, but I think it's quite easy to absolve him of any responsibility, even if they do win, wouldn't
Oh,
it?
right,
I mean,
fair
you think
enough.
like, well, who says he did anything?
just imagine, though.
Yeah.
Just imagine. Tisdale... Here's what happens, right? Colchester 1-0 up. The ball comes to Tisdale. He's in the same kind of position that Matt Taylor takes up to throw the ball back for the throw-in. Except this time, he turns his back on the pitch and hurls it as far as he can into, like, the River Mersey.
Oh, a seat to waste time.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of something that he's sort of done before for us, which is maybe he'll sub himself on. Maybe he's on the books like he used to be with us.
It's been a while, hasn't
He
it?
subs himself on in the last minute.
Scores a screamer.
And scores a screamer from 30 yards.
Kevin Ellison style. We'd love to see
Come
it,
on,
wouldn't we?
Tiz.
Come on, Paul. Do your old boys a favour.
Love to see that body language.
That's the only body language that matters, Paul. Stick it in top bins. Anyway, those are the games. It's very exciting, Dan. Very exciting.
At least we've got a bit of something at the end. Because it'd be
Absolutely.
so boring, wouldn't it, if we were just like, oh, we're out of it. And,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
nothing there. If you're just kind of like, if you're one of these kind of mid-table teams who just like did nothing, got nothing to play for, you're not affecting anything. There must be a couple of those where they're not even affecting anything. And they've got to play a pointless game on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Imagine being any of them.
Even I might not pay for that £10 iFollow pass. Even me.
Yeah, you're not getting 4 on the telly, are you, to see
Well,
what happens with
no.
promotion. So it's not in our own hands, but there are possibilities there.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Hard not to.
Hard not to. I don't know. I think if we get a good result, and we happen to sneak into the playoffs, I think, that's interesting, isn't it? We've usually gone into the playoffs like in form. This year we've like completely fallen over the line.
To be honest, I think if we end up in the playoffs, there won't be any part of me that thinks, "Oh, maybe we'll win them."
If you support
I would
Exeter
just
City,
be like, right, okay, we're in it, but we can't win because we can't.
we don't do that.
Yeah, What's
Yeah.
going to happen this year? Moxie's not here to get sent off this year, so although he might be back next season because Torquay have been promoted, haven't they, or about to be?
Torquay have done very well. I'm not sure if it's actually confirmed, but yeah, they're.
I think it's pretty much might as well be. Is he going to? Do you reckon he'll get another year?
I don't know. I mean,
Getting on a bit, isn't he?
yeah, there's still 4 games to go in the.
Oh, is
national.
there?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But
so
they
it's
are
not-
top by 4 points.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Wonder if he would be back. He's a year below me in school, so I know exactly how old he is.
Okay.
And yeah.
Well, I mean, there were older players in League Two.
Yeah, and last time he was only up there 1 year ago, and he was in the team that got to the playoff final.
Yeah.
Fair enough, he got sent off and lost it for us, but
Dino.
I'm joking, Dean. I know we were already 2-0 down, but you didn't help matters, did you? But anyway, I've not carried it with me.
No, apparently not. Yeah, so it's a very interesting last day, isn't it? Very interesting.
Yeah.
And of course, here's the extra cherry on the top, Dan. If we get into the playoffs, we might get to go.
Oh right, I thought you were going to say if we don't get into the playoffs, then who cares?
No, if we don't get into the playoffs, but if we
The
do,
pitch gets a rest. That's what they always say, isn't
that's
it?
what they always say. Yeah, so that's true though. I believe
They want to have a look at the Cathedral Green. Have you seen that?
we're all reseeded.
They've all reseeded it right up, put
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff on there, like rubber sort of bits so you can't go on it.
Yeah.
Now,
Luscious.
lush green meadow.
Maybe we can start playing games down there. It's a tree in the way, isn't there?
Yeah, a few paths as well. But, it just goes to show you that the grass can be grown.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if they do spend any money on this year. I don't know if they do, because they did that before, didn't they? It didn't seem to make much difference, drainage and that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, they said they're going to, haven't they? So.
Yeah, so they're going to. But that might be delayed. That will be delayed, of course, if we get to the playoffs. And if we do get to the playoffs, we'll be able to go to the home leg.
Yes. And
Which would be
the away leg? No.
I don't know. They've said Premier League fans can go, but of course it's all about percentage of the ground.
I suppose they don't want people travelling all over the shop. There's people in
But then we would get to go to Wembley.
snooker.
Yeah. So we'd all have to do a test, I think, to go to Wembley.
Right.
I don't know if it's like what year was Exeter City formed, that kind of test.
Yeah.
Because they probably should do that kind of test, shouldn't they? Like,
I don't think there's too many people really trying to attend that just for the kind of glamour of the tide.
No,
I mean,
fair enough.
I think everyone who's there very much doesn't want to be there. In fact,
Yeah,
not
right.
really.
Fair enough.
You're mad if you're thinking, oh, well, you're going to go to that and you don't support either of the teams. Do something else.
No, that's not mad.
What, you think you'd go to just a League 2 playoff final, would you?
Yeah.
But that doesn't involve Exeter City.
Yeah.
Do something else.
No, I don't want
Why?
to. I want to go. Well,
Not you might now because you haven't been able to go to anything
yeah, that's
for
what I
ages.
mean. At the
Not in
moment.
normal times.
Oh, maybe no, not in normal times. No.
Right. Okay.
All right, good, we're agreed. But football's football, isn't it? I like a game of football.
Yeah, but Wembley's rubbish.
Wembley is rubbish.
Just go to another game of football.
Fair comment. Fair comment. If anyone would like me to come to a game of football with them, it's not Exeter City, let me know. Could be available.
I'm not putting myself out for that kind of request.
I'd go somewhere weird.
Yeah, please get in touch. The weirder you are, the better.
You can get in touch with us in all the normal ways, weird and otherwise. We're on Twitter at Big Bank Pod. We're on email, bigbankpod@gmail.com. And we're on Facebook as the Big Bank Theory Podcast. I think our scheduling for the remaining few weeks really depends on what King Matt Taylor's mighty boys do.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
We don't know.
We're as much in the dark as any of you people listening to this.
We're as much in the dark as the cupboard which Ryan Bowman hangs upside down within. We will definitely be back next week, certainly, no doubt about it, to talk about Barrow and everything else that's happened. Might be a preview of another game, might be a season-ending fanfare.
We'll see. There'll be stuff to say, won't there, regardless, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I want to know. I don't know if this is a problem. Maybe this was just a problem last year. Because there were some loans ended and some contracts ended before the playoffs, but that was because the season got stretched, right?
Yeah, it's truncated season. This one's just normal, isn't it?
Yeah, we're at the normal point.
So
of the year, aren't we?
I guess you're just worried that we won't get Yokkel in the.
Well, that's my thought, but
Jockle,
I don't think that's a problem, is it?
I don't think so. No,
because all that stuff with Aaron Martin and all of that was all
that's
to do
different.
with
I think that was
the contracts ended at the end of June or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we can't have that. Imagine that playoffs going. We haven't got Anderson in goal.
That can't be a thing, can it?
Surely not.
Surely not. Who else have we got on loan? No one.
I don't think we've got anyone else. No.
Interesting.
Weird, isn't it?
Well, it's we used to have.
We talked about it before. I think in our previous episodes that we probably could have done with them.
We have talked about that. But it's weird that there's no one anywhere, and none of our other players are on loan anywhere else, of course, because of the National League not really happening.
Well, apart from Lewis Ward.
Oh, of course.
And then I think there's a couple of the young fellas
Smurden,
ended up
is he
going
still
off out, and yeah.
Okay. Yeah, of course, Lewis Ward. I forgot.
But less
still
than
our
normal.
player.
Yeah, he hasn't played. I checked the other day.
Not at all.
No.
Okay.
Wonder what he'll do.
Well, all this stuff we'll cover when we know more, I guess. Obviously, much still to be decided on the last day. How do you feel about Cheltenham going up?
Well, I think they've just been
the best team, haven't they?
Have they? They've definitely got the best long throw-in.
Well, I think they were the team that we've played against, where I've thought, oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, they were strong.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have lost that game, though.
No, I agree with you. But I think they played good football. Effective football.
They were definitely I think they were the strongest probably over the course of the whole season. Yeah. So, clearly, But I kind of look at them as with a bit of envy, to be honest, because they've sort of been. I've kind of had them on level with us over the last few years.
Agreed.
They were in the playoff semi-final last year, didn't they? Threw it away. To Northampton after battering them in the first leg. But I kind of think, over the last few years, like they've kind of been, like I've seen them as almost kind of our equivalents almost. It's similar sort of size club, similar size place.
Yeah.
It's a shame, innit, that it's them and not us. I just that's what I kind of think of it. I think really, it's not like Bolton. They shouldn't even be there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And and Tranmere and people like that, they shouldn't be in that league. You know what I mean? So I think less when they go up, or even Argyle last season, or when Blackpool there, or Coventry. You kind of think, well, these teams should be getting promoted. They shouldn't be in this league in the first place. Kind of not really fair to us that they are, because we deserve to have a chance to play well and get out of this division, and not just because this massive team are in it, because someone decided it would be a laugh to own them for a bit.
Well, indeed. And at the other end of the table, how do you feel like Grimsby and Southend going? Apparently Southend never been out of the Football League before.
Yeah, quite. There was like this sort of sad video doing the rounds of some old bloke talking about it. But I think,
I think he's called Phil Brown.
No, older than him. No, it wasn't actually that old. Anyway, look it up. Don't know, type in sad Southend man or something. But I don't know. They're both those two teams have been knocking around for a long time, haven't they? And
Grimsby came up 5 years ago, but of course they've been Championship, haven't they? So
of course.
Kind of bizarre.
But then at the same time, I'm kind of pleased for Barrow and Harrogate that they've managed to not go straight back down, because that's both those teams' first team in the Football League. Like in contrast to those two that are going down, who've been in it for a long time. It's kind of, it's the evolution of football. And as long as that happens organically, then whatever. They just didn't play well enough. And I feel bad for financially mismanaged teams, but if it's just kind of performance-based, then it's just the way it goes, isn't it?
I'm pleased for the supporters of Harrogate and Barrow in that they'll get to see some games. I know
exactly.
they might have seen a couple, but at least they'll see a season
Barely
next year.
got to see themselves. And if they'd gone straight back down, it would have been tragic, really, for them, like...
Maybe they didn't get to see any, actually. Maybe they were in the wrong tier. I can't...
Yeah, possibly, yeah. It was all tiered, wasn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, there we are.
Maybe there was a warehouse instead of a bit of stand where they...
Oh, yeah, that's the main problem. Someone's built a wall where they would otherwise be looking at a football pitch.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Barrow on Saturday, 3 p.m. Do not miss it, listeners. If you are doing the 4-screen iFollow, let us know. I'd love to see a photo of that. Like some sort of sports centre. Like, what's that thing? What's it called on Sky where they're all with Jeff Stelling?
Oh, I don't know.
Super Saturday or whatever.
Soccer Saturday.
Soccer Saturday, yeah. If you're like that for the League Two.
Or if you'd like to pay us to do that.
Yeah,
Short notice, I know.
we are available.
And for a very high fee, I have to say.
Oh, I was just expecting him to pay for the iFollow cash.
No, I'm going to want
You're looking for more.
wages. For
All
that
right,
too.
fair enough. Well, thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next week. My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.